Well, I've got a special video coming up, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, which would be quite interesting, I think. I won't tell you anything about it because I'm really looking forward to going somewhere, seeing somewhere, seeing something as well. But anyway, so that'll be probably by Saturday, I would imagine. So keep your eyes open. I was just thinking about, just for a second, I was thinking about words, thoughts, ideas and opinions. Where do they come from? And what I think really is, what I really think is that we've got years and years of conditioning, not just us, right? That starts, well, actually goes back to our parents, and then it goes back to their parents. You know, lots of conditioning all over the place, really. And often when we talk, we only talk from a place of conditioning that is fed into us over the generations, really. So our viewpoint comes from many different places, but it comes from years and years and years, many generations of conditioning, really. You know, and I think what I've tried to do myself over the years is strip that away, get rid of it, peel the layers back, so that when I speak from the puddle of my own truth. I speak from the heart, I speak from my mind. When I say my opinions, they are actually my opinions. When some people say their opinions, excuse me, they're just talking about what's been ingrained in them. You know, whether it's been conditioning from society, kind of environmental conditioning, but particularly cultural conditioning as well. You know, they believe the words that they're saying, but they believe them on a level of conditioning. It's like they're stood on like a mountain of conditioning. There's layers and layers and layers and layers, and then they're there. They're right on top of this mountain, layers of conditioning. So they don't really perceive the world how they think they do. Well, they do, but they're perceiving it from all these different layers of conditioning. And I think it's very important. If you class yourself as a free thinker, and I do, but if you do class yourself as a bit of a lone wolf, a standalone character or whatever, then you need to strip away these layers of conditioning so that your thoughts are your thoughts, your opinions become your opinions, and therefore your words are your words. I think that's really important. Now, everybody knows what I think about education, or certainly the education system. And I was thinking that we spend, what is it, 12 years, is it, in school? Something like that. 12 long years, you know, and what is it for? School, I've said it's a sausage factory. Somebody laughed at that term. I think it is, you know. You go to school for 12 long years, and it's a place of conditioning. That's what it's there for. They want to create a little breed, a little race of subservient people who really, when they leave school, they've got the ability to clock on in their job. They don't have the ability to question why they do this job. You know, so that is my problem really with the education system itself. And as I say, 12 long years, and you end up struggling really to try to get a piece of paper which actually is quite worthless, and it just says, you know, that you've achieved this, you did quite well in school. And school teaches the basics, of course it does, we know that. You know, without school a lot of people couldn't read or write, you know, so we've got the basics, we've learnt that. But again, the pedal of my own truth, this is just me, whatever I say is only ever right for me. When I left school, I didn't know how to change a tyre on my car. Nobody had taught me that. I couldn't put a fuse into a plug. And most embarrassingly, when I went to open a bank account, they asked me what sort, and I didn't have a clue. See you later. Thank you, Bodie. Very embarrassingly, I started work and they said, your wages will be paid into the bank. And I said, I haven't got a bank account. And they said, no worries, we'll give you 20 minutes, go down the bank and open an account. And I went down, stood in the queue, and I said to the bank person, I'd like to open an account. And he said, yeah, certainly. What sort of account? Would you like a current account or a savings account or this or that? And I said, I don't know. And he said, okay, what's it for? And I said, I've just got a job and they need to pay my wages in. I was so embarrassed, you know, nobody taught me that. I didn't know a lot about life. So we have 12 years of school, 12 years of conditioning really, but 12 years of school. And you get this worthless piece of paper that no employer ever asked to see. They're not interested really. And you leave school not really fit for anything. You then start learning. You could leave school and you can go into a large supermarket and work the till maybe, but even for that you need to be trained. You don't know anything. To work at McDonald's you have to be trained to work at. We don't know anything when we leave school, not really. We know very, very little when we leave school. It is just a place of conditioning. That is where the conditioning starts. And it's awful, isn't it? Because you leave school and you end up thinking thoughts that your friends are thinking, that you've been taught at school. So you end up thinking the same, you know. And that's what I say about your words, your thoughts, your opinions and what have you. Where does it come from? Well, I think I'm right in the fact that it comes from many, many years of conditioning. And we need really to try and strip away those layers and become ourselves. I became myself over many years really. I decided to educate myself when I left school, just slowly, and I did okay. And I did okay in jobs, and I've lived an ordinary sort of a life, you know. I've had the mortgage and I've had the bills and I've had this and I've had that, and even that didn't work. So again, a lot more deep thinking on my level without conditioning from society or whatever. And I decided that wasn't for me, and I jacked everything in and I became a traveller living in a van, you know. So that is down to me though, it's not down to my conditioning. My family certainly have never done anything like that, you know. So I didn't need to listen to their sort of rhetoric and their narrative on life. I didn't need that. I did it on my own terms. I was going to say something else and it's gone out of my head really, because that's what happens. Anyway, I'm still up north, still with my glorious friend John Long on his driveway. No eviction notice or anything like that at the moment, so it's all going well. Lovely walk down the river and what have you, and I'm really looking forward to, in a couple of days time, to going somewhere that I think is going to be quite special and making a video which will be up certainly by Saturday anyway, so keep your eyes open. But yeah, it's worth thinking about that, isn't it really? Where do your opinions really come from? What I was going to say a minute ago, and it's just came back to me, I just talked about cultural conditioning. In the UK, this is quite boring, but in the UK there's going to be a vote whether to remain in the EU or to leave the EU. And I can see a lot of people getting very upset and very volatile actually on Facebook, and slagging each camp off, or even friends off. You don't know what you're talking about, actually, nor do you. The reason why I don't vote is because it's a fallacy that we've got a choice. Of course we haven't got a choice. There's so much stuff out there that I can't find the truth, even if I look for it. There's lies and fabrication and bullshit really, whether to remain in the EU, and there's lies, fabric and more bullshit whether to get out of the EU. And I see that to remain in or to leave doesn't really affect me in a great way, so I won't bother, thank you very much. But that's me thinking about it on my level, not what my family want, not what years and years of cultural conditioning has done. I don't need that. I don't need to think like that. What I need to do in my life is think for myself. That's what I need to do, and that's exactly what I do. And a lot of these people that are saying, oh, we've got to get out or we've got to stay in, they're not actually thinking for themselves. There was somebody recently on Facebook, bless her, she said, I'm voting out, I'm voting to leave because of so-and-so, so-and-so. Now what she said was totally wrong, and I knew it, and that's fine, it's not my place to put her right. Somebody did, somebody said, actually, you know, you're wrong because blah blah blah. And she said, oh well, I'll still vote out anyway. Not much thought there really. But these people that think they know all there is to know to remain in, or think they know all there is to know to get out of the EU, they're wrong. And where are they getting their information from? Their friends, their family, years of conditioning, cultural conditioning, or from Facebook? You know, it's just a fallacy that we've got a choice to make any sort of a difference. My prediction, I might shoot myself in the foot, but I don't care. My prediction is this. I don't think we will even be allowed to leave the EU. I don't think that. I think that, you know, the Parliament want us to remain in the EU. The government want us to remain in the EU. Big businesses and corporations on the whole want us to remain in the EU. And lots of other things and lots of reasons why we should remain in the EU. So I think we will just remain in the EU. We will be told that it's our choice and what have you. But of course, elections are rigged. And we know that, which is why I don't vote. Why do you think we have a pencil rather than a pen? And if you go and vote, and you vote, either way, it doesn't bother me, I'm not interested. But you go down and vote, and that's fine, that's your choice. You don't know where your vote's going. You don't know which pile it's going to end up on. You have no idea. No idea. You could tick one box, or put an X rather, in one box and think, yeah, that's great, I've done that. Where really, you've done that. Somebody will just pick it up and put it on that pile. For all we know, we just don't know. So as I say, it's a bit of a fallacy. Many won't agree with me. If you don't agree with me, you've got to think, is it because of my conditioning that I don't agree? Have I been told over the years that voting really makes a difference? If you don't vote, you can't moan. If you don't vote, your vote goes to the other party. And all the other things that people say. Saying all that, we live in a free world and it's your choice. You go and vote if you want to vote, and good luck to you. You know, if you don't want to vote, good luck to you. And if you vote in or you vote out, good luck to you. It doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you, not really. But it will, you know, some people get all high and mighty and think they know everything, and they actually know very little. Only some people. There's some people out there that really do think it through, and good luck to you as well. That's all I got to say. Take care and be well. Try and be beautiful.